This video is to help you create perspective. So you're going to go to the Start menu and you're going to go ahead and open Adobe Photoshop. If for some reason it's not there, you can just search it by typing photo, P-H-O-T-O. And I highly recommend that you pause this video as I'm going and split screen so that you can see what I'm doing, and then also you can do it at the same time. I'll go much quicker than you will be able to on your own. So you will already have to have taken a photograph of your drawing that you want to turn into your atmospheric perspective. Then we also need to create a new sheet of paper. So you're going to go File, New. We are going to call this Drawing Perspective. You'll need to change this to inches, and you can either have it 11 by 8.5 or you can have it 8.5 by 11. And then you are going to change your resolution to 300. Once you have that done, you click OK. All right, consider this a sheet of paper. Now we need to find your picture. So go to File, Open. You're going to have to go to Computer. From Computer, you're going to go to the card reader. Mine's called E. Yours might be called something else. It's going to be inside a folder called DCIM. By now, you should have paused me several times in order to stay at pace with me because, again, I am going very fast. Once you get in here, let's see if I can go backwards and find an actual picture. Here we go. You're going to open it up. Now, once you find your picture, you want to go ahead and hit Control+ and zoom in. Do you see how this picture is blurry? So I would need to take a new one. For today, though, I'm just going to use it because it makes life simple. Once I have the picture over here, I'm going to right-click and I'm going to go to the Quick Selection tool, which is underneath the magic wand. So the Quick Selection tool. Then I'm going to select an area. Now if it selects too much, so we'll pretend it selected too much, all you have to do is go to the minus up at the top and say, nope, 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 I didn't mean there. Okay, and at first it will be confused. As you go over top of other things, it will figure out what you want. It's a kind of a learning tool. Then every once in a while you just hit delete or backspace on your keyboard. Selecting out some more area, and then you can hit Control D to get rid of dancing ants. Oops, I'm on the minus. I got to go back to the plus. Control D. Let's try again. Oops. Control D. If you get too greedy, sorry, I'm chewing gum. That's terrible. If you go slower, it can get a little bit more accurate results as you go around. So I'm hitting Control D. Oh, selected too much. So I'm going to go in here and see how fast it's learning now. The more I've been using the tool and inputting data on this picture, the better it does. I'm going to go up near the top. Also, the fact that my picture is blurry contributes to the problem. All right, now I needed to go really a little bit better around the hair and such, but for this example, I'm going to leave that alone. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to click on the actual top, and I'm going to drag it over to the side. Then I'm going to click my Move tool, and I'm going to drag it over once, let go. Then, once I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up top. Move this over so I can see it. All right, now my picture is probably too big for my screen, so I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Transform, and I'm going to go to Scale. And Control minus will let me zoom out until I see the box. Holding down the Shift key while I'm clicking this will see how it's all in perspective. If I let go of the Shift key, that won't be true. Then, once I get it so it's on my picture space, I can zoom back in. I have to hit Enter to say I want to keep the change. And now, do you see how there's little like blank space around here, but I can see white? I want none of that white stuff to be there. So again, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click. This time it will be even more accurate. I'm going to hit delete, but see, nothing happened here. All my change happened right there in the layer. I'm going to go around this side, and again, hitting delete. Okay, got one more little chunk here on the top. Hit delete, and I got a little speck right here I need to get rid of. Delete. Okay, Control D. Now, when I'm moving this, I am just moving, and if you watch my layers tab, I am just moving that character. See, now it's over there. I want to duplicate this layer so that I have 3 of them. So I'm going to go right click and I'm going to go to duplicate layer, and I'm going to call this layer 2, and I'm going to duplicate layer again, and I'm going to call this layer 3. Okay, now I have 3 things. I can here, let me pull them apart. I can unsee them if I want, right? If I need to see one on top of the other. Then I'm going to have layer 1 on the front. So in order to make that happen, I'm going to click layer 3 down, and then I'm going to click layer 1 up, and layer 2 down. You got to kind of mix with it. There. Now, my layer 1, so in order to find it, if I just click if I click anywhere, it gets confused. So making sure I'm just on layer 1. I need to make this a little bit sharper. See how it's all grayed out? So I'm selected layer 1. I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Levels. And you'll generally have some sort of mountain. I want to take the black. Now I'm not down here. I'm up here. I'm going to take the black and scooch it to the base of the mountain, and the white and scooch it to the other base. And then I'm going to move this around. And what I'm looking for, and this is a bad picture, but that's okay, is some nice strong value contrast. So I'm going to hit OK. Then on my whole image, I'm going to go to Image, I'm going to go to Mode, and I want to turn everything into a grayscale. I don't want this color, so grayed everything out. Oh, I don't want to flatten. Okay, I'll have to do that last. Never mind. So now that I have this picture, I need this one to be really big. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Scale, and holding the Shift key, I need to make this really, really super big, right? She is in the foreground. She has to grow from the bottom up, so I couldn't do this, but I have to grow from the bottom up. And then notice how much space I'm having her take up, right? Instantly, oops. You can see I'll let go of the Shift key. Instantly, by having her so much bigger than this one, and because she is lower down in the picture space, she becomes the main focus and appears to be in front. So I'm starting to create depth. Now I'm going to go to layer 2. It will naturally slide behind layer 1. It's got to be up higher on the page, okay? And then it needs to be a little washed out. So I'm going to go to opacity, and I'm just going to gray that one out ever so slightly. See how now that one even pulled more to the front? Once I've done that, I'm going to go to layer 3. I could create more overlapping if I want. I would recommend that this one's got to be little itty bitty. So we're going to go to Transform and Scale. The higher up on the page I go, the smaller my character needs to be. So this doesn't make logical sense. But do you see how like that starts to? Hit Enter. And then, again, my opacity, super washed out. Because she is super far away. Maybe not that washed out. Now, that looks right for her, but do you see how this one's opacity seems wrong? So let me go back here. Bring that just a little more. There, I'm starting to get 3 distinct levels. Maybe even a little more. Maybe I need to scoot her up just a little teeny bit. There. Okay. This is a picture that I am ready to go ahead and now I'm going to flatten. So to get it all gray, grayscale, flat. Okay, discard. There. That's looking pretty good. If I printed that, that's going to have strong depth to it. If you print it and it doesn't have depth, you're like, oh no, I've already flattened it. Well, if you go to Windows and you go down to History, because see now I don't have my different levels, my different layers. If I go to History, see I can go backwards and now all of a sudden I have my layers back. So you're going to fiddle with it until you have an image that looks like you've created depth. If you have additional questions or concerns, you are welcome to see me